I'm only going to say this once, but that is my TV and Sony PlayStation 1. And they look like eyes. Not. Creepy, eh? That is my Sony and TV, and the other one blinking is computer. It's my computer. So yeah, you can put it on an angle. Anyway, it's early hours in the morning. It says here 3:43 a.m. I just got up and went to the dunny because it's not very funny. But I want to remind you of some movies, old movies. There's one called Angel. Not that old, but getting there, you know. Oh, excuse me. The last series of Angel, there is that woman that was they found in the cave, or Angel found in the cave in the other realm, and she was sent through a vortex to another realm. They brought her back, and she became very loved by them. When she got a job with, they all worked with that company, law firm. Ram and Hart. She ended up with this blue stuff in her. Well, that's basically what they've been doing to people, mainly Aborigines. I had it done to me as well. They inject a blue stuff into you. They've been doing that in Australia for a long time, testing us. Because just, using their position to play testing games, because they're backward. They're not very normal. They want X-Men abilities. And that movie, the last series of Angel, there's a couple of movies, parts there, episodes there that show what they've been really trying to do with the blue stuff. And also X-Files with Dana and Scully, or Mulder, Scully and Mulder. They also mention in one of their series COVID-19 and the effects it does, and what it can do to people. So, they put them in movies, what they know, what they found out, what they hear, and they make movies of it. It's a good time for people to go watch it. X-Files all those other series have been cancelled on Australia Network because of that reason, I suppose. But you can tell they're all American made. And the blue glow that I took pictures of after I was injected with it, and it burnt onto my hands, forming the same shape as gloves. And then they offered me a job to come and work with bots. When I went there, I was locked in a room in Brisbane. I don't know, but my skin went all like it was burnt. I imagine it was gas. And I took photos of the bots, but they're gone now, died out. But another thing is, what gets me is the tests they did in Australia on Aborigines. It affects other natives, so they can use that gas on other people. And the poor Aborigines are suffering severely. I think they should be paid for their suffering, but they don't know that they were tested on. I know because I worked there. So I know. It was in Gosford Horticulture It was in Gosford, anyway, in a research laboratory. And they used to gas me too. The reason why I know is because they were curious why it didn't affect me when I claimed I was Aboriginal, which I thought I was, till I got to America and had tests done and found out I'm not. There's a different colour to the Leons. They forged my birth certificate as well, but I keep it. The government lets me keep it. But it's not my real name or date of birth. Apparently they said it was the 31st of October. And I was accused as a dark angel when I was 5 years old. Uncannily strange way too. The police and the media turned up, and newspaper people, and the police took everybody's statements because they were scared of me. They said I was going to take them away. The reason why they thought that was because I wandered into the hospital that was right next door to our house. And I just walked right in, straight up to an old lady that was in and out of a death. She kept falling asleep and then coming out of it. And she said, "Oh, they said you'd come. They said you'd help me. Can you see the other side?" And I thought she was talking about the other side of the hospital. And I said, yes, I can see it. She said, "Well, that's where I'm going." So I guess it's nothing to be funny about, but the whole ward was listening by that time. And when I left, she died. So they thought that I was taking her. So it was a strange sort of a situation that can be explained, but it got me into a lot of trouble with religion people and government departments wanting to use me for this and that, and stalkers, and oh God, you name it. It's a religious war once you're in that sort of position, treated that way. It's very warm this morning. I'm hot and cold, burning up, getting cold from the cold air, cover myself up. I get hot from the sheet. It's a double sheet, thin, but I've got the fan on, just low. It's still very warm. The air is cool once you take the sheet off. Anyway, I was accused as that angel thing and to take people away, because the conversation that everyone was listening to is the other side. She knew she was dying, and the other side, because she was in and out of that death, and the other side told her an angel would come to help her. And lo and behold, I turned up, and it made it look worse. So my step family, or carers, or abusers more like it, the Leons and Kerwins, Letitia Hildegard Scott, her name is now, she's changed it that many times. She's got many birth certificates and never been arrested. It's like the government lets her. She's probably dead now, thank God. I'd only paid her on her grave child abuser anyway, if I knew where she was buried, and I don't. I don't even know if she's alive or dead, and I don't care. Too abusive. So the media turned up after they screamed, because I went back there to see my newfound friend, because I don't have friends. I still don't to this day. I pretty much stay to myself. I'm a scared person of people. So I wandered in to talk to my newfound friend, and they kicked me out. And they said, no, we don't want to go yet. And they started screaming, help us, really loud. And the cops came, and every time I turn up in Melbourne on Victoria Parade at that old people's home, even to this day, they would block the doors from me and put guards up, and the police would be called. They are that scared of me, and they actually do believe that I'm an angel. And Kevin Leon, my carer, they saw him bring home a black harp, which made them, you know, that verified what that they thought. And through the conversation from that dying woman, it all verifies everything to them, that I'm a dark angel. So I've kept that position. I started using that position just a few years back because the Department of Child Safety abused my son for no reason. They took him. They just went around taking kids and girls, mainly pretty girls they went for, until the government stopped them and changed the laws. But it's still that possibility that they will attack families again, because they do it to me all the time, and I'm 60 and my kids are grown, and they just don't stop. It's like they write a list and keep it with them when they leave. The other workers do it, so they never stop. Anyway, back to those movies. It shows in the movies that what they've been up to, and you can imagine what I've been through by watching those movies, the angel one anyway. And also I was when I was attacked constantly by government workers, police would threaten anyone that tried to help me. So I was, that's that time I was drugged and dumped in the streets, tortured with no memory. I'm starting to remember it because I'm getting immune to the disease that they used in my teeth. So people don't understand what governments are capable of. And when I look at this Bitcoin thing, I think it's a good idea to go towards that. I don't understand it yet. Because they're money hungry and they're into testing on people and they abuse their positions and they just take kids when they want in Australia and they test on Aborigines when they want. They use Aborigines. Mainly Aborigine kids go missing all the time. But me, they look at me with hungry eyes too to take kids and they don't stop coming for you. They stalk you. At one stage, when I was with my little ones, there was 5 cars stalking me and they would yell and scream at me and all this crap. When I trick them and drive a different direction, that's how I knew I was being stalked all the time. Constantly hounded by mongrels. 5 cars, they say, this is going by the police reports, if there's a town, which there was, and they said an example of if the town was, populated by 10,000 people, there'd be 7,000 pedophiles in one town. So that's how many pedophiles were in Australia. And they all have jobs in governments, in Department of Child Safeties, and they made rules that you can't go against your workers in those departments, so they got away with anything. Pretty stupid, eh? And then China got sick of Australia and wanted to bomb Australia. I don't blame them. I was hoping they would get rid of the peds. So many of them. With too many pedophiles, it disturbs the earth, the planets. They hate them. Too many gays, too many pedophiles, too much shit efforts. There's a hate mode for earth and it starts throwing brimstones and the weather changes to destroy them. So I kept saying to the government on the net, why don't you just minimise them, kill them? That way it would save everybody getting destroyed by all this weather, because it's ancient. I'm only going by fact. You end up with, those volcanoes, and they end up spitting at the people, fire and brimstone from the skies. Destruction everywhere. Factories cause acid rain. Digging, mining and stuff only causes collapses to the above ground, killing people. But too many pedophiles and too many gays, the earth will destroy everyone. Because if you don't minimise it, you're going anyway. So I think it's good. The earth minimises them because they're so stupid. They're going to stand their ground and go, no, we're not getting rid of them. We love our pedophiles and gays. La la la. Blah, blah, blah. Tra-la-la. That's was saying from that Russian guy called Survival Russia, he's always saying, "Tra-la-la, blah, blah, blah." I used to watch him, but it got a bit boring after the, I don't know, some kind of shutdown thing. And then the weather got strange and things started to go a bit strange. And I thought, oh, go back. Finally, he got back on to making vids, and then I got bored with this because I thought, well, I've seen everything that he made pretty much. And I haven't watched those videos. I started watching Mars pictures and beautiful Mars. So lonely. There's no dogs barking or factories, workers, trucks going past. So quiet. I might get up, take a look at my demon eyes. Hello, demon eyes. Oh, wait, there. Hello, demon eyes. Wait, there. Peekaboo. Demon eyes. So, watch those videos and X-Men and Angel. Watch them from the beginning because they're great movies as well. And they tell you all about COVID, and it's American. It's even in the movies, in the X-Files. And the tests with the blue glow stuff, that's American. So all those Aborigines were tested on. Australian government allowed Americans to do that. Probably because their people in America would complain if it was done to them. And so they went to Australia, flashed some money around, and greedy government would let them do anything at that time. Although the government's changed now and they're pretty sad, but acts can be deceiving. Looks can be deceiving. Never trust an Australian government. And with this Bitcoin, it'd be good to break away from dollars. I reckon it'd be great, but how it works, I'm still trying to work that out. You've got to buy it or something. It's the same as buying dollars in the morning. If you've got money, you can buy Bitcoin. So I wouldn't mind doing that, see how it go, because it's a passion of mine to get away from dollars. Dirty, filthy, greedy, diseased money. It'd be great to get away from the dollars and just go down a different path and be free from those dollars that causes people to pay others, to hurt others, and set up others, and to even steal kids. You can even get on Department of Child Safety, get on their phone calls from different countries and listen in on parents talking to kids, sad people and getting off on it. Anyone can call in and listen to them. I even did it. I even got friends from America to do it, and they did it, and you can still do it to this day. They haven't changed it. So I don't know what they're selling in Australia, but they love sad people. They love causing sadness and distress on women. They hate Australian women. And other countries say Australian women are the most beautifulest women in the world. So you can imagine why most Australian women, all Australian women, were targeted a few years back, having their kids taken from them. Only Australian families lost kids for any reason. If a cupboard door was loose, your kid was taken. If your front door was being repaired, your kid was taken because it wasn't fixed on time or something. If the weather was horrible, which they did to me, and they took my kid because the weather was horrible. It was raining. No one can stop the weather. And they took my kid for that, and they abused him so badly, and they run over him after they were finished to cover up all the abuse. And kids being forgiving. You can imagine what they could get away with. So that's how much hate is in me when I wake up every morning. I hate that department. I hate the Australian government. I hate what they did to Aborigines. I hate what they do to everyone and got away with it. And I'm really glad China stepped in when they did. And I'm pretty sure they used COVID to shut down the world so that they could get away with it again. To prevent China, blame China, I suppose. When I know damn well from those movies it was American. So please don't blame China for that. I mean, I'm not happy with China taking over with the selling metals, and there's so many of them that they've got a lot of businesses, and I want to have a go. I want to have a go at doing something, because I never got the opportunity after being abused for so long in a religious war. I would love to be normal, and have a job. I'm 60 and I still want to do that because I've never had it. When I do, I'm always targeted for that religious crap that people go for. Stalked by them, and they actually believe I'm an angel, and if I go to hospitals and I'm really sick, women have swapped my shoes to wear my shoes. They've swapped my files. They've paid nurses to swap my files because they think if they could just feel like what it's like to be me, they'll be healed or something. It makes me sick. I vomit around when there's too many Australians and for too long. I vomit. I can't handle them. But anyway, you be the judge of those videos and go watch them. Yeah, check them out. I don't want to sound too hateful, but psychological mind, I can't change what I am now. If I get sick around Australians, I end up in the sink trying to vomit. It's like dry reaching. I can't change that. No one can. But anyway, life goes on for everybody else. Doesn't mean you have to change. You be yourselves and watch those videos, and you won't be able to see them online if you're in Australia because they've blocked them. You have to buy them. And because they're preventing people from knowing the truth. And it's kind of uncanny because X-Files says the truth is out there. And Australia's trying to prevent the truth. It just makes it more funny. So have a look at that. And Angel, okay, the series, all of them. The last series is the one with what they try to achieve with the tests. A goddesses and X-powers and all this stuff. That's what they're trying to achieve. They want to take it from us, from the people once they turn into gods, which nobody has turned into gods. I mean, I've played with their imagination because I'm a hypnotherapist. I have a certificate. I'm not a hypnotist, I'm an actual hypnotherapist. It's to do with the mind, so I play with them, make them think that they're getting mud science and all this stuff. They believe it and will live it. because what can they do, you know? It's not real. But that's the power of hypnosis. It can be extremely powerful and real to people. They can't get out of it. I stopped doing that, so I saw that it was really harming some people, and I stopped doing that. Hypnosis is connected to the nervous system. The nervous system, to my opinion, not to others, my opinion, I'm the only one on earth that believes it, the nervous system is connected to the weather. So when there's too much rape and gaze, then there's a nerve in that area. And that's also connected to the weather. So you damage those nerves and you're going to cop bad weather. That's my belief anyway. And that's how fire and brimstone, the weather gets just so destructive. So anyway, good morning, I'm getting up. I don't have coffee. I would love coffee, but I can't drink it since I've been stabbed in the back in my kidney with needles by people. I carefully watch now. I keep moving, looking around to make sure when I'm in line buying stuff, although you've got to be a certain distance away, people creep up right behind me and stab me in the back, and I was in the total agony. And they tried it again, I caught the woman. I think their Department of Child Safety, actually, they look it. They have that look. So anyway, I'm going to go and get up and have a water. Enjoy your day. It's still dark for me.